Paycheck to paycheck, my life's a mess. My living situation is a wreck. I'm struggling stressed. Even though my heart is heavy, baby, I know my kids are blessed. So fuck you and fuck the rest. Same old story, a soldier going for glory, a struggle for my family, even I have to do it illegally. I got a 9 to 5 just to get by. I do what I gotta do, survive. Keep my head afloat, I time my bill, I never cry. You can say what you wanna say, partner, keep it to yourself. Blowing everything out the way, partner, for messing with my health. I'm not irrational, only if you're messing with my anger, nigga. That's when I take it personal. Why do you make my mother cry? Unlimited tears don't dry. No matter how much time flies, hearts of haters will die. Your pain is filled with sin, fighting against your kin. Play the game of life, nigga, you would never win. Sending our sons off the war like a rocket. Economy so fucked up, it's killing my pockets. Family who a dope head, doing anything for that pocket rocket. Grimy suit nigga scheming off the top of my profits. My profits. Paycheck to paycheck, my life's a mess. My living situation is a wreck. I'm struggling stressed. Even though my heart is heavy, baby, I know my kids are blessed. So fuck you and fuck the rest. First thing first, on the second verse, I'm holding on some change. Ready to knock a non-believer out the fucking frame. I know some things you cannot change, but you can always change. Keep my faith and push for bigger and better, man, you understand? Got my priority straight, shaking the bacon, all these fake. Sometimes I give, nigga, but Ross is always on the tape. I got 5 kids and I need it now. Anyhow, by any means, I'm out for dead presidents to represent me. I'm on that faith route, if I have any doubt, I'm out. But for the time being, I'm praying for a drought. Taking all competitors out and still collecting a check. Wishing a motherfucker would come and disrespect. I'll make a hater feel how real my deal is. It's all personal when you're messing with my family biz. If you think I'm crazy now, see how I would react. If you touch my kid, smash you with a bat and peel your cat back. Paycheck to paycheck, my life's a mess. My living situation is a wreck. I'm struggling stressed. Even though my heart is heavy, baby, I know my kids are blessed. So fuck you and fuck the rest. I'm not really a violent person, but lately my luck has hit the fan. Still looking for the re-up, man. My boss is getting my last nerve, man. But I still gotta get a guap for my C's. This paper chasing will never stop. Oh, please believe. Get caught on my route and right there you get dropped to your knee. See you on my block and you get popped 6 feet deep. For my seeds, I reach for the mountain peak. All proceeds go to them, so I give a shit about me. And with this music thing, I'm going after my dream. Even if it seems this music not amounting to anything.
Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome to... Alright, I switched a bunch of stuff up. Bear with me for a second. Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back, and thank you for showing up to the weekly peaceful protest of progressive ideology today on Unaltered 1776 Radio podcast station, established for the people, small businesses, and patriots of the United States of America. You can offer show content by sending suggestions to fatjacksmedia@gmail.com. That intro song was brought to you by Rostatone at Backroad Records, and you can download any of their songs for free by going to reverbnation.com/Backroad Records. This show today is dedicated to Raleigh business and the actual peaceful protesters. You can get all your Unaltered merch like this shit right here. If I can pull it over my... Oh shit. I know it looks like I got a big head right now, but yo, check it out. This is just the 2.0 version. I've got myself some of my own merch, some of my 3.0 merch coming. Definitely check it out. It's unaltered1776.myshopify.com or by clicking the link at the top of the screen at the beginning and the end of each show, along with all the Unaltered official pages. But if you're tired of being tracked and monitored and propagandized into the whole... Okay, well, we could have done without that. Anyways, if you're tired of being thrown into the back of the room. You know what I'm saying? Every time you say something, it kind of feels like all of a sudden your Facebook starts acting a little weird, as I know all of us have. I suggest you go to wokepatriots.com as a source of freedom and information sharing for the patriot in your family. Um, Man, it has been an interesting week since we talked last, yo. Pretty sure everybody's on high alert. Yes, no, maybe so. Hey, if you are tuning in, make sure you go over to the chat stream and comment. I can see that right now, and you can comment. And yeah, so we're doing it. We're doing it. Anyways, you know, the death of George Floyd has been. Where's my other camera? I switched all my buttons around. Got all this fanciness going, and I can't even switch screens. So anyways, it's been an interesting week to say the least. I think everyone is on high alert. The death of George Floyd has been hijacked by Antifa, progressives, communists. Police are moments away from abandoning ship and either to teach America a lesson or have just been defunded. White folks are apologizing for unknowingly racist ways, existent or non-existent. You're as guilty as you are white type of thing, you know. But it's not racist one bit to say that because they're white. Yeah. You too. Easy for a white guy to say, though, right? Anyways, I'm a mutt, by the way. Love my father to death. Anyway, what the hell is going on, man? Businesses in NC are still shut down and discouraged from spreading the COVID, but looters and protesters are okay. Unless it's like protesting, shutting down, and reopening North Carolina. Man. But on a good note, leaders of all ethnic backgrounds are showing up and they're speaking out. And that's actually really good. Country's still in solidarity with the murder of George, despite the looting and the business burning. Man, that was tough to watch. I don't know how you feel about it. I'll know if you write it over there in that comments. I'll even talk back to you. Try it out for the one stalker I have. Hey, but think of it this way. I got one more positive thing. The left can no longer enforce gun control because they're defunding the only thing that would help them. Huh? We got guns and shit here. Oh my goodness, what are we going through? Hey guys, make sure we've actually fallen under some legal issues due to some of the shit talking that we did on the last episode. If you didn't catch that, hit rewind at the end of this and go check it out. But we are in the battle with progressive leftists who have hijacked our movement, and we're not letting down. So make sure we're changing up the website. I want you to go to rebellegends.com for the Rebel Legend review. Why is my camera messing up? Man, I was doing this shit earlier. Come back into focus. No, don't stop. There we go. Come on, focus. Focus. This is a really expensive webcam. Alright. Anyways, gremlins, they're always going to mess with us. If I have to, I'll do the whole show from the Skycam. Anyways, rebellegends.com. Go check it out if you want all the current citizen journalism It's important that you actually get that stuff and share it. Okay, read it, definitely share it. Um, we're diving into a whole bunch of things today, and the some of the very first things that I was ever taught was how to problem solve, right? But nowadays I watch the news and the media and just people generally in public, and they don't know how to actually physically problem solve. So today we are going to dive into a lesson on how to problem solve properly, because you know what? You As you can see by the way that the world's going right now, people don't know how to problem solve. And so get out your pen and paper and get ready, because I'm about to school y'all. I cannot believe this thing is like messing up like this. Could be the smudge on the screen. Let's see if that does any good. Nope. Sorry, blurry me. Anyways, so let's problem solve. Let's write this stuff down. All right. Obviously, number one is write it down. Get out a pen and a piece of paper. There's a lot that your brain has to process in order to problem solve, and you need to be able to see it physically. That way you could change it. Your brain, most people's brain thinks 1 to 2 tracks. Okay? Need to be able to write it down to keep your brain on track. Alright? The second thing is, once you've established the problem, you need to rank it in severity in your own mind. Of course, this is all problem solving 101. This is all your opinion. Once you've done that, which one is tougher, which one is or which one is more severe and which one is not, then you want to reprioritize them, obviously, from the worst to the least worst. Okay? Start at the top, work your way down. Do not try and solve multiple problems at the same time. You will be cut short, and you will not put as much effort as you need to into whatever situation it may be. You would think that this is common sense. This is not common sense. Oh, hold on. I gotta turn this racist motherfucker off. Can't even think. There we go. And so anyways, maybe... No? Still no. Okay, it's kind of cool looking blurry like that. So what is the problem? Now that you've made the list, right? Media is propagating racism. False police narratives. I want you to think about some things. I want you to do your research. I looked them up the other day, and 3 times as many white people were killed by police officers. Let's just say police officers, not give the race of any of them. More whites were killed by police officers last year than blacks. Look it up. You think I'm joking? Think I'm lying? Prove me wrong. Write it over here in the comments. Go for more than just the first answer that you get. And that really exists because the color of your skin is in itself a racist remark. Major city riots, who's responsible for that? We'll talk more about that here in just a second. We all need to understand that this is a problem. This is going to be a problem, this race thing, until aliens show up. And I know that sounds funny as hell, but in that moment, it'll all end. And I'm literally, ready? Praying for aliens. You know why, though, right? Because then we'll be the way God actually intended. Now, do I think tomorrow aliens are going to show up? You know why I pray for aliens? An alien, it could be metaphorical. Because then we would actually be the way God intended us to. One human race. He created us all the same. Hey, you know what? I have mad Indian skin at most times. You lift up my socks, white. I'm not talking about the socks. My father is white. My mom is Native American. I'm a mutt. Told you that. I'm just tired of all the bullshit. It's really getting out of fucking hand. And this is if you tuned in today thinking that you were going to get a PC show, it's gotten bad. Bad enough that I bought a pistol for my daughters. And now I'm training them how to defend themselves because they have pale skin. Let's not go that route just yet. People, we need to turn off the TV. Start having real conversations. The police brutality epidemic is real. Okay? I'm not gonna lie. I grew up poor almost my entire life. My family grew up poor. My dad served this country honorably, but with 3 boys. He didn't have fucking money for shit either. Stop acting like there's only one faction of race that deals with poverty. Man. He also raised somebody that would open his store against constitutional or against, the king's order, but fully following the Constitution. May I advise that everybody go get you a little pocket-sized version. Everybody thinks you gotta go to Washington and try and look at that tiny little lettering. Listen, let's go to the clear screen. Listen, it is like the easiest children's read on earth to know your rights. This was given to me, even though I knew it. I was like, hell, this is bad convenience. This is about the size of my wallet. Maybe a little longer. If you're just tuning in, yeah, we're having the tough talk, man. Make sure you hit the chat over in the corner and say something. Obviously having a blurry screen issue today. Oh, hell no. I just got a call in the middle of a show. You are not my friend, whoever just called. So, back on track. Police brutality is an epidemic, and it is real. We have checks and balances, weights. Okay? Citizens on one side. Absolutely. Thank you for joining the chat. We have weights and balances, okay? Checks, right? That need to be cashed. You need to have money in the bank or else one side tips farther than the other. And what we have is weights and checks and balances for everything except for the police force. Now they've just barely skimmed the surface with having them wear cams. But I've dealt with it my whole life. I've had my entire car ripped apart because they wanted to find drugs. Oh yeah, I used to hang with a rowdy crowd. The tattoos didn't give it away. For no reason. They didn't find anything because I wasn't on drugs. But because of the way I look. Where I came from, tattoos were considered devil worshiping. I'm tatted the fuck up, yo. I've had some of my best friends go to prison for shit that they didn't do. They know. I wrote them the whole time. Police brutality and racism. What do you call it, man? It's the thing where there's 4 black guys in a fucking car. Let's go follow them until they act nervous. They're gonna fucking act nervous. You've always made them act nervous. I do fully agree that things gotta change. If y'all don't know who I am, I was arrested April 28th, 26th for opening my shop against the King's orders here in North Carolina. That is but a freckle of what most of the country is dealing with. And they're fucking angry, and they're rightly so. It's an epidemic, the brutality, the overreach. But I'm not saying that every damn cop that you meet is bad. Everybody has a past. Everybody dealt with it in their own way. Are you holding against PTSD against a soldier that went to war and fought a war he didn't believe in? I'm doing hard hitters tonight, so if you can't fucking take it, make sure you pop on off. Shit is fucking tough, man. It's usually pretty specific in the area, in the locations here in America. Because I'm telling you, you go down to Apex, they'll only arrest you for opening your store. Low blow, I know. Still love you guys. But you know what? We can fight this. It actually starts at home. Yeah. On your TV. You know why? Is because media is controlling the narrative. It's the sole reason that obviously I'm not the best podcaster in the entire world. I hope to be one day. But I'm not. But the whole reason that I started this podcast right here today is because even my own arrest wasn't covered. I was wrongfully arrested for threatening to open my shop in protest. There's so many fucked up things in that one sentence that you can't help but believe everything about George Floyd. Plus, I've seen it. You know, want some proof? Here goes number 1 for tonight. Take this with a grain of salt. If you haven't seen it before.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish
publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I mean, how much more do you need? Well scripted. Hey, by the way, we're a fucking republic. Why don't you say that next time you're on? Propaganda is happening. People are reading scripted shit. They're being told what is said. They're reading it. It is against journalism. You know, if you want real journalism, those are free thinkers. It doesn't matter if you think they're fucking crazy or not, or if there's some, you think that they have an agenda. They have the right. How many crazy ass people are out there right now that you don't agree with, but you tolerate them? Media should be no different. For real. And just because you believe the lie, people were taken advantage of. Found some clips. It's pretty disturbing. This is right here in Raleigh, by the way.
No justice! No peace! Who do you protect? Who do you serve?
Right now we're focused on Black lives because right now I can be outside jogging with my dog in the morning and get shot. That's not right. That's why Black Lives Matter, and that's why we're out here today.
Y'all is not working with us. We ain't gonna do this our own way. We are getting sick and tired of getting killed every single time.
Nice car. Right? Pay attention to more than just what you see. Think. I'll tell you what. 3 of the most richest cities in the nation surround Raleigh. All I see is fresh kicks, and obviously this news reporter is trying to steer the narrative by showing mostly black people, but I have people putting out fires that night. They were out there. It was predominantly white. Okay? Look at the background. You see any beaters? You see any Cutlass, Cadillacs? Nothing. These people are well paid. They live well. This is not the slum of the country. That is the courthouse, by the way. For 6 hours, 15 police officers protected that. And who the hell has fireworks, people? You carry fireworks with you every day? Smoke bombs? We're gonna get into this. Gonna get into it good. Everybody, yeah, what a coincidence, right? All right, let's take a breath. And because you believe the lie, people were taken advantage of. There are only two types of white people after this point. And because I'm a mutt, I can speak for whatever the fuck side I want because this is my show. The kind who are ready for change but not willing to suck the progressive agenda's tit. And those who did more than just suck the tit. They sucked the big D and they ate the shit sandwich with a side of Kool-Aid. Got one more video for you.
In the gap and repent on behalf of Caucasian people.
It's all people. I guess.
On behalf of Caucasian people. Now part of this hits me that Jesus did this for his disciples.
On behalf of all white classes, all of our
But if you're fucking white today and you're watching this and you are offended,
all of humanity, before we stand here,
you have the perfect right to be offended. And I'll tell you why here in a second. I want this to sink in.
For our pride, for thinking that we are better, that we are above. Lord, we repent. As we stand here, we repent for our greed. Lord, that our greed that we have put our hands, our knees upon the necks of our African American brothers and sisters, people of color, of indigenous people. Lord, we ask for your forgiveness. Lord, we stand in the gap and we ask for your forgiveness. Lord, I ask, Lord, as a pastor, Lord, where we as a church, a white church, have used you as a persecution towards black people, Lord, as we've burnt crosses, as we've burnt churches, God, where we're meant to be symbols of your love and of your goodness, and we've used it as
Please tell me how many churches you, whitey, that is watching today have burned. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I can't even let this video play all by itself. And I'm part Native American. I have a card in my pocket right now that I'll whip out. It is physically one of the only race cards that exists on this planet, is that I can prove that I am as much Native American as I am white. This is fucking an abomination. It is fucking hard to watch, and it should be hard for you to watch.
But Lord, we stand here. It's my honor to wash my brother's feet, God. It's my honor to go with you.
And honestly, this lady on the bench holding up her hand to Jesus, that is a sign that she is praying, she is hurt, and that's why it's important. It's important to watch. But at the same time, there's so much fucked up. Listen to the guy on the microphone.
In every way that we've done it, not just for George Floyd with that policeman, but in every way we as a people, through all of history, have had our knees upon your necks. Please forgive us.
And the only right way to say this right now is that they were saying Jesus, right? Does that make it right? God, man. The only way that would be right is if you were racist. Thank you, Chapel Hill, for setting the standard of white racists. Yes. Yes. So, guys, if you're just joining us, go over there to the comments section. I know this is deep. I know this is hard. I got a gentleman over here that's commenting. I really appreciate it. This is just talk. This is real news information. I did my research before I started this show. Do I claim excellence and superiority in knowledge? Yes. Because I did my research. And it isn't anything other than supporting you, informing you. So come on over here, join the chat. We're talking about fucking hard shit right now. We're definitely not PC. Say what you want to say, even if you don't agree with what I say. You know, this thing hurts me a little bit because I'm old. I just shave it low so you can't see the grays. You know what I'm saying? But I remember back in the day when Rodney King was brutally beaten by police. Many police. I didn't look up exactly how many, but I'm pretty sure it was like 8 or 9 police officers beating a defenseless man on the ground. Regardless of what for, the punishment far outweighed the crime. We at least waited until the courts failed us to riot. And I'm going to say something really fucked up with right now, which to me, and in my opinion, they were well within their rights. It was captured. We're talking about a day and time where cell phones didn't record shit. Somebody had this big old box thing up on their shoulder and happened to see this man being beaten and came down and fucking recorded the whole thing. Google it. It was terrible. They were kicking a man while he was down. They were not trying to arrest him. They were not trying to put cuffs on him. He was down the whole time. And because of whatever circumstance it was, they were upset. And they beat the shit out of him. Well, the court finally ruled that all the cops were innocent. And we burned America down. What are we burning things for? They charged the man with murder. You have to let the system play out. And then when we find out the system's broke this time, then we fix it. Or we burn it down. So tell me, why are we burning things down? I'll tell you why. Because the BLM movement has been hijacked by another agenda. Antifa. Hope everybody here still watching understands what I'm saying. The truth is coming out. The Saul Alinsky radical progressive group based in lies has hijacked the Black Lives Matter movement. At least the majority of it. Because I know some people that float inside BLM actually are Antifa as well. So do you know what we're up against? Have you ever heard the name Saul Alinsky? Well, I'll tell you what. How about the properly... brother, I know, sister, whoever this is. There's so many fucked up rabbit holes that we can go into that we're not going to go into tonight. Because I'm already pushing it. I want to go into some things that you don't know. And that's problem solving, right? That's how we started it. You write it down, decide which one is more severe and which one isn't. Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. There's 14 rules, and I'm going to read them to you right now. Power is not what you have, but what your enemy thinks that you have. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, never go outside the expertise of your people. Number 3, whenever possible, go outside the expertise of your enemy. Makes them uncomfortable, right? Number 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. That's a good one. Number 5, ridicule is a man's most potent weapon. Go ahead and chime in when you start hearing rules that you think that are in play right now. Like ridicule is the man's most potent weapon. Number 5, that was number 5. Number 6, a good tactic is one your people enjoy. Number 7, a tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag, so don't stick to it. Number 8, keep the pressure on. Number 9, the threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Number 10, the major premise for tactics is the development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure upon the opposition. Oh, that was a lot to say. Number 11, if you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through its counter side. Let me repeat that. Number 11 is if you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through into its counter side. The price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. If anybody's having any trouble understanding what I'm saying right now, I can actually break every one of these down for you. Number 12, which I just said, the price of a successful attack is a counter alternative, which means no matter how many times they lose, they will have a plan B in which they will still gain ground, even though they may have lost whatever battle they're picking. Number 13, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, then polarize it. I think I added number 14 myself. I think it's 13 rules. I may have added an extra rule because I've seen a lot of it lately. Number 14 is white people breaking shit. Listen, they are what you say you are. Overprivileged white college kids who destroy everything in their path. Racist because they've proven time and time again that they feel black people are weak, cannot defend themselves, so whitey is going to do it for them. Anti-free thinking. You don't agree, then they'll attack you physically. They will attack you with what they know, which isn't much, and then stomp away, triggered, or attack you physically. They are antisocial. They are anti-republic. They are anti-free thinking. They are anti-free trade, anti-free capitalism, and last but not least, anti-American. They are who they say they're against. The definition from Google of fascism is a form of far-right authoritarian ultranationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of the opposition, as well as a strong regimentation of social and of economy. Really? Because right behind me here, I have a bunch of books. This particular set of books this isn't new. Let me reference a little bit for you. Oh, no way. The publishers were from Chicago, New York, and Toronto in 1965. See it right up here in the corner? Let's open it up and see what they said in 1965 about fascism. That Google somehow, well, let's just see what it says. Fascism is the political philosophy which preaches the absolute supremacy of a state over an individual and group interests. That sounds way different than what I just read that you would have just typed in right now and found. Get your hard copy books, people. They're changing history. Propaganda, right? I can tell you right now that in Afghanistan and Iraq, they are changing their own history. They're burning Christian churches just that the next generation never knew who they were. You can change history and you can control a narrative every time. But if you still don't believe me, check out this short clip. Here we go.
I've been undercover with Rose City Antifa since July of 2000. Depending on the setting, if I were to be caught or found out in a setting where I am present with them, it could escalate to violence against me.
Don't be that f***ing guy with the goddamn spiked brass knuckles getting photos taken of you. Police are going to be like, perfect, we can prosecute these f***ers. Look how violent they are. Right? Not that we're not, but we need to
So currently I am a prospect for Rose City Antifa, and I am about halfway through the prospecting process to become a full-fledged member of Antifa.
If you ruin their day, if you like heckle them, you make them feel like they look ridiculous, you make them feel outnumbered, and therefore their whole yay, yay, America, Trump thing is going to go by the wayside.
They reached out to me through Proton Mail, and we went back and forth, and there was an interview set to meet up in Portland. So to verify that it was me, they had me wear a white shirt and have a water bottle and show up at a Starbucks where a person was going to ID me and approach me and asked who I was, and I told them, and I followed them to the destination where the interview was going to be held. There, we went to a place called Imperial. They were getting this trade craft from someone else, someone with much more experience, someone who did this for her living. Caroline, which is the founder of RCA, moved to Sweden with her
Rose City
husband,
Antifa.
who was a dual citizen.
That's where it started.
So there's a back and forth with a European connection.
Staying healthy.
Rose City Antifa holds required lectures for prospecting members in secret at, in other words, bookstore before they open. And as part of their security culture, they require us to put our phones in the bathroom next door. This bathroom is not only away from the main room where the lecture is taking place, but also has a fan that muffles any sound from the room.
The whole goal of this, right, is to get out there and do dangerous things as safely as possible.
How violent is Antifa or RCA in particular?
Practice things like an eye gouge. It takes very little pressure to injure someone's eyes.
They do not hesitate to either push back or incite some kind of violence. In our classes and in our meetings,
listen to what they're saying.
Any sort of demonstration or black bloc, we talk about weapons detail and what we carry and what we should have. What is black bloc? Well, this is black bloc right now. The term is used to a tactic in which individuals conceal their identity to look uniform so that no one can be identified in an act of a crime. With RCA, it seems much more structured, almost like a company or like a business. So, I feel like there is some type of outside funding, influence, or resources being used.
Consider like destroying your enemy, not like delivering a really awesome right hand, left eye blow, It's not boxing, it's not kickboxing, it's like destroying your enemy.
Destroying your enemy. Interesting enough, right? Project Veritas. I'm sure more and more will surface about that in the meantime. This is... what the fuck happened, man? COVID disappeared like Epstein's murder? Or did it just kill itself? Listen, if you're tuning in today, know that I have a Facebook page that I started. It's called Constitution or Nothing. The idea is Constitution or nothing at all. That's what we want. We want the Constitution or nothing at all. According to this COVID shit that was going on, lots of constitutional rights were violated. The violation of constitutional rights by corrupt police officers who aren't properly checked and balanced. I still have one other video for you, and it is a good one. I saved the best for last. But I want you to know that the American dream dies if we don't stand. Let's kill the dividing line and talk. Everyone wants a solution to the problem of the police brutality. But the ones funding it are out to harm you. Turn off the TV. Stop listening to politicians who've been in power for 40 years saying the same lie that they are fighting for you. Don't trust them any farther than you can throw them. Let's get out our checks and balances and place the critical thinking, right? Sit down, think about it, talk about it. It starts at the ground level and works its way up. Before I play this last video, I want to address the silent suffering. To anyone suffering right now, keep the fight alive. Reach out to me or anyone that you trust. We need you. Please, if you know someone in this category of life, help someone who asks and stand with those who need bracing. Make sure you know about depression and my friend David Akmoudi, 30-year firefighter veteran who killed himself weeks ago before all the rioting stuff happened. I refuse to let his memory die or that people suffer from PTSD. Before all this nonsense happened, we were losing 22 soldiers a day. They were being left behind. And in America, we don't leave a man behind. We can do what it takes to both fix and prevent this from happening. And I want you guys to know the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. And I'm dead serious. If you need help, hit me up. There'll be no stalker trying to get my number because I'm all tatted and stuff. 1-800-273-8255. Because your life is worth it. We need you. And I know it's tough, and I know chaos is... Oh, brother, I feel sorry for you, sister. We love you. With that being said, a huge shout out to the dysfunctional veterans, the DV Farm. If you're a soldier and you're suffering, I want you to Google DV Farm. And if it doesn't show up, I want you to type in Dysfunctional Veterans Farm. But just remember, you're a soldier. The battle starts with you, wanting to make a difference in your own life. So be ready for that, because they're not going to play. Huge shout out to my boy Dan Bongino. I would never have the platform that I have to speak on today after being dragged out of my business 3 minutes after I opened it. Any of you who don't know that are watching, Google Apex Tattoo Factory. Because I'm an artist, obviously, I'm tatted up. And then, you know, I'm sitting here talking about propaganda. Why don't you go check out my girl, my boy actually, Carrie Donovan, Rebel Legends review at rebellegends.com. You know, keep up the great work. And last but not least, for our listeners, making the stand, patriots, we will have our day. I'm going to still be here in the comments. I want you to watch this video because I didn't want to have just nothing but negative shit playing for you today. I wanted to make sure that I had something for you to look up to, and I have plenty more, don't get me wrong. In fact, there was one I didn't get a chance to play because, you know, I'm still working out how to read my info. So, but hey, thank you for tuning in. 9443, appreciate you hanging out with me, Jim. And definitely check this out if you haven't seen it. It's mad interesting.
So, I want you guys to understand something. There is a reason why there is a direct deflection, not only of the media, but of liberal politicians and rhinos alike. When you notice that you see these politicians talking about Donald Trump and blaming race relations on Donald Trump, the thing that they're not telling you is that people like Hillary Clinton, with her sorry ass, is that these people have been in politics for 30, 40 plus years. So the race relations that are currently fractured within this country, these people have to be responsible for. See, there's a reason why they jump to deflect everything towards Donald Trump. Because then you'll have to sit back and realize that, hey, all of these people, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Hillary Clintons, the Chuck Schumers, all of these people, the Al Sharptons, all of these liars, all of these people, all of these liars have had ample opportunity to actually go in and create reform and change within African American communities. But these individuals that I named, all of them, they've all benefited from black pain and murder and death. Hillary Clinton from black incarceration. They benefited from destroying black America. And then they get to turn around and turn this shit on Donald Trump, who just got fucking elected. We're going on his 4th year. Like, really? Everything that has happened already, it exists because of the national news media. They depict blacks like animals whenever they get the opportunity to. You sit here and you have all of these black social justice warriors, and they're sitting here and they're sucking on the nuts and tits of Hollywood. You know why? They won't tell you. Because normally they complain that blacks can't get roles, good enough roles for blacks in the first place, and they're not offered the same roles as whites. You'll hear it all the fucking time. The Oscars don't represent black folks. The Grammys don't represent black folks. It's like all of these people do is just sit back, take it in the ass, and then say whatever they want them to say. I'm not going to allow these people to do that. And no one's going to pass the buck on to Donald Trump and or his supporters. This shit is not about race relations, and it's got nothing to do with us whatsoever. This has to do with the Democrat Party, the multi-billion-dollar corporations that are running this media, and the way they target these communities, the way they disproportionately have these communities viewed on their platforms, and the way they make sure that they always introduce race whenever there is a social justice issue. The thing is, whenever a cop violates someone's rights, no matter what color the cop is, the color shouldn't matter. The rights of the person, of the individual, should be the first thing that's discussed, not the color's person. Not the color of the person. The first thing that we should be talking about are the rights that have been violated of the person. Period. When you hear the news in the media passing on the buck and blaming it on Donald Trump and blaming it on everyone else and blah, 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 and all this other bullshit, I just need you to understand one thing. Again, these people have had 30, 40 plus years to create change. And the only thing we can attribute to these individuals in our black communities is the fact that these individuals are partly responsible, if not greatly responsible, for its destruction, for its demise. We have watched as tons of white folks have been shipped all the way into Minnesota so they can go in and destroy black communities. And you know what happened? When Trump said thugs are destroying property, they said it's black folks. Because the news media equated thugs with black folks. It was the news media that actually took those words and equated it with black folks. It's the news media that's racist. They've always depicted black folks like they ain't shit. There's a reason why I haven't been invited on any of your national news media either. They all know I'm running. I'm the only person that's out here outright going viral all on his own. They're not stupid. They're trying to keep you from understanding that there are people like me out here that are exposing them. They're trying to keep you from understanding that they are the actual cause and problems. They are partly responsible for the cause and problems within our communities. And the politicians are even more responsible than the news media who does the covering up for them. Because these guys have not implicated any laws or policies whatsoever that actually went in and created change within these communities, that actually allow law enforcement to stop policing by fucking numbers and police by community values. This is the problem. The bureaucrats who are running all of these Democrats. It's always been the Democrats. It's always been the Democrats, the liberal Democrats. And now the truth is going to set us free. Fuck a last one.
Fuck them all. Tony Montanga. Listen, thank you for joining in. Thank you. Spread the word. Let's do some real media from now on. Let's, like, if we want to talk, let's talk together. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we're gonna break the silence of you not speaking up and being all white and prejudiced and shit. I hope my community is diverse. Native American right here. Y'all tune in next week. I have some more for you. Much love. Constitution or nothing at all. Fuck everything in between. Fuck Joe Biden. Right? How come you're not burning down Joe Biden's house for saying that if you don't vote for him, you ain't black? What the fuck? Tune in next week. Got y'all covered.
Right here in the dirty South, right quick to run my city. Right here in the dirty South, the bitch don't run your mouth. Right here in the dirty South. Right here in the dirty South. I'm
all. Every time I walk by, I make you feel small, cause this is me and I'm 10 foot tall, always ready to ball. Started to walk, never learned how to crawl. Backward boy, and you know we living hard. Should've took my name and turned it into a boulevard. Cause right here in the dirty South, you get quick to get popped in your mouth.
Yeah.